What's going on, guys? It's your boy Scrub here, back again with another video. Hope you guys are all having an absolutely fantastic day. I know I am. If you are, I'd appreciate you guys pressing that like button. Otherwise, no joke, no scam, your mom will get attacked by a giraffe. Yeah, that's right. She'll be sitting in her accountant's office getting mauled on by a giant neck, and that's not good for anyone. Because I like your mom, all right? I love her. Me and your mom are dating. I'm your stepdad. Hello. Anyways, as you guys can tell from the title of today's video, I have a party story for you guys today. It's been a very long time, I think like 2 months since I told a party story, and this one's pretty recent. This took place about 2 months ago, and basically some people got arrested at a house party I was at. I was not one of them, thankfully. You know, I don't think I'd fare well in prison. All right, I think I do about as well in prison as like I don't know, maybe just a tube sock, you know, like I don't think I would do very well regardless. But yeah, without further ado, let's get into people getting arrested. Now, I wouldn't consider myself a party guy by any means, you know. Trust me, I would go to a few every now and then, but most of the time my party days are kind of over. I used to go to parties a ton when I was a little bit younger, but as an old 20-year-old, they just kind of lost their luster. Being surrounded by hydrated people really isn't my cup of tea because they really just have no control over themselves. Like, I don't know if you guys have ever hung out with hydrated people that have been hitting the water bottles a little bit too hard, but they can be really annoying. They have no control over themselves. They're angry. They're usually kind of violent. Like, it's just not my crowd, you know. Nothing about that is really my cup of tea. But regardless, a couple months ago, me and Grant, or weeks, months, I don't know. Okay, it was a little bit ago. That's all you guys gotta know. I really don't remember the specific time. I'm sorry. Grant decided that he's like, yo, bro, this person's throwing a party. Can we please go? And I was like, man, I don't know. And Grant's like, Ryan, come on, think about it. Please. Like, when was the last time I asked you to go out and have a party? And I was like, all right, fine, I'll go. Because Grant is a little bit of a party guy. He loves to go to parties, and usually he'll just go do his thing, and I'll just stay home and play Counter-Strike, you know, because that's more my speed. So he's like, come on, let's go, it'll be lit. I'm like, all right, fine, no big deal. So apparently the party that we're going to is some kids that have Airbnb'd like a mansion, and we pull up to this place, and I'm not even kidding, this place is huge. I've seen houses this big in Call of Duty. You know the map Raid from Black Ops 2? Like, that's what this house is looking like. This house is absolutely fat. I don't know why the person who owns it decided to rent it out to a bunch of kids who were definitely going to throw a party there, but hey, that's what happened. Apparently, some people just really don't think things through and just want their nice things destroyed by a bunch of out-of-control college kids, but to each their own, you know? So we pull up, and immediately I can tell that things are going to get out of control. There is enough water to hydrate people in this place. I'm pretty sure we could fill up a pool. And for those of you who are new to the channel, water is not water, but you should be able to figure out very quickly what it is by context clues. Let's really think about it. Do some simple math in your head. Let's really break it down. But anyways, we pull up, and immediately I can tell things are going to be out of control because there's a lot more people here than this house can hold. Like, don't get me wrong. This house is massive. This house is actually fat. Like, it is a legitimate mansion. Don't get it twisted. But, well, to put it nicely, there's probably about 500 people here. Like, this party is fat. I don't know if they went on Twitter and just said, hey, if you want to go to a party at a mansion, come over. But, apparently half the Las Vegas Valley pulled up to this place and just really thought it was going to be sick. So, I can automatically tell that this place is going to get shut down. There's no way the cops aren't going to shut it down. So, it's just kind of a matter of time. So, I'm just going to enjoy it while I can because the neighbors in this area in multi-million-dollar homes don't want 500 kids getting shwasted and then going around their neighborhood. Something tells me that drives down property values. Like, yes, I would spend $7 million on this house, but do you hear the ruckus that those kids across the streets are causing? What is this? A house for miscreants? Is this the misused youth? I don't know. I'm trying to sound like a rich person, all right? I don't know what they sound like. I've never interacted with one, but I'm trying my best, all right? I'm trying my best out here. I'm doing what I can for the culture. So I can tell this is a little bit crazy. And just some of the crazy things that I saw while we were there include, but are not limited to, this isn't really like crazy important to the story, but I just want you guys to hear what I had to experience. So first things first, I've heard of this before, but I had never seen it before this. I don't know who brought it, but they had a little person tossing. All right, I don't know if you've ever seen this, but apparently little people literally get hired to go to parties and wear Velcro suits, and then you throw them. So I saw that for the first time. That's a little bit of a sight. Never once in my life did I figure that I would be at a party where little people were getting tossed around like beanbags at Bago, but now I've experienced that, and I wish you guys could too. Like, if I could take a video of that, I definitely would have. On top of that, at one point, a guy says, I'm gonna jump off the roof into the pool. And we're all like, that sounds like a bad idea because this house is fat. It's probably 30, 40 feet. And this man single-handedly throws a backflip off the roof into the pool and nails it. It was so sick, so sick. I definitely felt like I was in a movie. Like, I legitimately felt like I was in Project X, no cap. So I'm at this party, and things start to get a little bit out of control when on the dance floor, somebody decides that everybody should start jumping at once. And the dance floor is actually the second floor of this giant house, right? And so everybody starts jumping up and down at the same time on the second floor, like this little loft thing, and the entire house is basically shaking. I don't know if you've ever been in an earthquake before, but that's basically what it felt like. I live in Nevada. We have a lot of earthquakes. So the entire second floor of the house is shaking. It's shaking the whole house. Like, you can feel it even outside, the entire house shaking. Because there's like 300 people jumping up and down in unison, you know, like 2 tons of weight, just boom, boom, boom. So the owners of, like, not the owners, but the people that were renting the house for the party try to shut this down. They're like, stop jumping, stop jumping, stop jumping. Like, stop. You're gonna break the house. Because something tells me if you have one of these houses on Airbnb, you really can't afford to actually have it, you know, because if you could, you would have one. So they're trying to get everybody to stop jumping. But apparently the people that are partying don't want to start jumping, and they get mad at the people who rented the Airbnb, which is just not cool. Like, these people rented a mansion to have a party. The least you could do is not jump up and down and destroy the house. Call me crazy here, but that seems like the least you could do. Just be a good person and don't destroy the house. It's not rocket science, right? Well, that's what you would think. But the people who they're telling to stop jumping, the people who started the jumping, say no and start, like, getting in a fight with the people who are throwing the party. And, you know, I'm not the type of person to do that. If you invite me to your mansion party, I'm going to be the best guest ever. I'm going to bring you some napkins, you know, so you can clean up your tears after you get the bill for all the trashing you did to the house. And the people are fighting back and forth, and me and Grant are kind of like downstairs and we hear the commotion. So we go upstairs to watch it happen because obviously I'm not going to miss out on the show, okay? We tell the girls we were talking to, we'll talk to them later. We put our drinks down and we go upstairs and we're just like watching this go down. So they're arguing in the middle of the dance floor, and then, so, like, it's not a dance floor, it's literally just like the upstairs living room. I don't know how to describe it, but it was a dance floor at this point, people jumping up and down. So they're arguing back and forth, and one of the guys who had rented it kind of like pushes one of the guys who had started the jumping in the middle of the pit, right? And apparently he didn't like being pushed very much, because the next thing we know, he walks over to the wall of this house and just punches a hole in the drywall, which obviously sets off the people renting the house. Because if you don't know, when you Airbnb, you're basically responsible for all damages. Like, if somebody pees in the cactus, then you're responsible for getting the pee out of the cactus. So the people see a hole go in the wall of a multi-million-dollar house, and they are super not hyped. Super, super not hyped. So the entire group of all these people start fighting. There's fisticuffs in the middle of this kind of dance floor thing, and everybody now is kind of like spreading away and kind of getting out of there. The jumping is stopped, so I mean, they kind of got what they wanted, and they're all spreading, but the fight just keeps continuing. Like, the people that were there who caused the fight, first of all, you just kind of ruined it for everybody. The people renting the Airbnb are fighting back, and they start being like, everybody out, everybody get out. But the problem with inviting 500 people to a mansion party is some people aren't going to agree with you. So they're all fighting, and the group that originally started the jumping goes to their car and comes back in with I don't want to say it because I feel like it's going to get demonetized, but let's just say it went from a street fight to a potentially very dangerous situation. They had the Glock on deck, if you're picking up what I'm putting down. So the Glocks come out and the cops come out. Basically, somebody sees that this going on. They realize that this situation is about to get very bad, so they call the cops. So now there's an entire group of people fighting. Some of them have Glocks on deck, and suddenly you start hearing sirens from outside. And it was pretty obvious the party was going to get shut down anyways. So everybody in the house starts scattering like rats. If you've ever seen cops come to a party, it's pretty crazy. Basically, people just scatter. And me and Grant are kind of standing here flabbergasted at what's going on because we were not expecting things to get this lit. Obviously, we knew the party was going to get shut down, but now that the cops have the call that there's Glocks on deck, they're definitely going to treat it a little bit differently. They're going to come way more out of control for this fight than they would normally. Like, if there was just a normal house party fight, man, who cares? You know, they'll just come out and do what they got to do. But when they start hearing that there's a potential dangerous situation, they're going to come in ready to go. So obviously, the cops pull up and the entire party just scatters. People running in every direction, people running down the street trying to get back to their cars. But keep in mind, some people can't drive because they're hydrated. So it's an absolute disaster. I've never been to a party of this size that gets copped out. So as soon as the cops come in, things just get out of control very quickly. So we're all leaving. Me and Grant are like trying to get back to the car. We get back to our car and we kind of lay low. Just a tip, if you're ever getting copped out, the cops kind of look for the first cars to go away and trail you just to pull you over and see if, you know, you're doing anything bad. Like they want to catch you drinking. So, you know, they'll kind of wait for the first cars to leave. Just a tip. So me and Grant are kind of sitting there for 20 minutes, just kind of letting things cool down. Thankfully, our car doesn't look too out of place in the neighborhood. Well, it's my car, but we were together. Like, you know what I mean? He has his car, but we were in my car. Does that make sense? That makes sense. Okay, anyways. So we wait about 20 minutes, right? And after about 20 minutes, we're like, all right, I think it's safe. So we pull out and we have to drive past the house that the party was at to get out of the neighborhood. Like, the way the streets were aligned, we parked up the street, so we had to turn around and go back just to see, to get out of the neighborhood, you know, to get home. And as we're driving by, there's about 30 dudes on the like curb in front of the house, all in handcuffs, just sitting there. I don't know if the cops basically walked into the fight and just arrested everybody involved or what, but there were not 30 people fighting when me and Grant left, so we're not exactly sure why 30 people are arrested. But I'm not even kidding. Half of the Oakland Raiders are sitting there after getting arrested, and we like slowly cruise by, and the cops are pulling out more people from the house in handcuffs. I really don't know what the cops walked into. Obviously, we got out of there. But apparently it was some pretty serious crap, because to arrest like 30 people that's a lot. How do you even have that many handcuffs? I mean, there was like 4 cops. Do they carry just a box of handcuffs in their car? How does that work? How do you get them to the jail? Like, there's 30 people. They're not all fitting in the cars. Man, I have so many questions now that I didn't even realize I had until I was telling the story. Wow. But anyways, I'm pretty sure the mansion ended up getting trashed. Whoever had that Airbnb definitely had an expensive repair bill. Like, I could not imagine getting, you know, a $10,000 bill in the mail because I decided to trash an Airbnb and throw a party there. Moral of the story is, maybe don't throw parties in houses that you can't afford to repair. Just a wild, wild piece of advice, all you kids out there listening. It's just not a good idea, or just don't party, you know? I obviously advocate for you guys all being safe if you are, you know, like, don't do anything too stupid. But, yeah, that's how a party got out of control and people ended up trashing a mansion. I personally wouldn't trash a mansion because I like them. I think they're very cool. I wouldn't want it destroyed. But hey, to each their own. At least it was a crazy experience. As for like the 30 people that got arrested, you know, I hope prison's nice. You guys can tell the story about how you were at a crazy party and ended up in handcuffs. I'm sure they'll take that very nicely. What are you in here for, man? Man, I was at a sick party. What about you? I just ran over an ice cream man. Like, I don't really know how that conversation goes. But on that note, guys, I think that's going to do it for the video. Hopefully you enjoyed. If you did, I'd really appreciate you guys taking the time to press the like button. It makes me happy to see likes on the video. Subscribe if you're new and turn on notifications. Today's notification shout out goes to Santi Porcel. Big shout out to you for having on notifications. If you want a notification shout out, all you gotta do is take a screenshot of you having on notifications for the channel, send it to me on my Instagram @Scrubby, and I shout somebody out every single day. But on that note, I think I'm gonna go see if I can throw a party in a mansion, because that just sounds lit. I'll see you guys tomorrow with another video. Don't get anyone pregnant, and if you do, make sure they're hot, and hopefully I'll see you guys next time with another video. I'm out. Or am I? What's going on? Hello? What year is it? Am I in the future? Are you in the future? Whoa. Donna, Donna, da.